Welcome back, Agent. Here is your next assignment. A content creator named Sugar Delights has been resurfaced to come after unspoken purpose. Judging from UP washing Sugar's mouth with soap, these two have history. It has been reported that Sugar is one of the few who visited UP's hometown, even went as far to visit the school where Firefly attended. Firefly is a code name for UP's grandson, who is also a target from UP's enemies. Intelligence already completed their mission regarding Firefly. Sugar, as I said, has an unknown grudge against UP. We have a hunch that the Sippers have a hand in letting Sugar loose against UP, in their journey of silencing her. According to intelligence, Sugar is very vile and has a huge fantasy of dealing with UP, both physically and sexually, and her daughters are not exempt. She is also accusing UP and her daughters of being child molesters without any evidence. This will end whether she cares or not.
Proceed with caution, Agent. We're dealing with a loose cannon. We're convinced that Sugar isn't acting. She's determined to silence UP by any means necessary. Your mission is to fire a warning shot. Let her know that UP isn't alone. The orders are from the director himself, and he made it crystal clear that he's not giving a second warning. If the Sippers get upset about our interference, they can thank the State Gang's washed-up cheerleader for the director's now unhinged attitude, but knowing them, a washed-up cheerleader is considered God's gift to those reading at a third-grade level. Your second mission is to look into a content creator named Ronald Isley. Intelligence reported that Ronald is a mandated reporter, and she is also being harassed by Sugar, who assumes that Ronald and UP are in cahoots in Sugar having a bad day. You are to debunk that. This pointless harassment with UP and Ronald needs to come to a standstill. Dismissed, and may your pen guide you to the truth.
I'm gonna have to do something. I'm gonna, bitch, I'm going to find you, and I'm going up. I swear. You up. I'm going up. Always watch your back here, because I'm getting your fucking ass. I'm gonna get you. And now let's call my motherfucking ass bitch. You calling around the motherfuckers and shit. You going out there the fuck shit, bitch. I'm a fuck. You know.
Okay, I know you guys are pondering. Who is this lady? And why is she hell-bent on making UP's life a living hell? Well, have a seat, and have whatever you like to drink and smoke. Welcome back. My name is Shadow, and I got a story to tell. What you just heard is a loose cannon, and if not checked, well, you got someone like this. This is Sugar Delights. Nothing is known about her. Based on what we've learned as UP tells her viewers, Sugar is one dangerous woman. She hates unspoken with a passion. This unknown hatred of UP goes back as far as 2 years. Why she hates UP? Like many of UP's haters, because UP has a mind of her own, so is her followers, and they don't like it.
By the divide, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. People have a right to follow who they want to follow. What gives them the right to oppress other communities? Don't they have their own sector to manage and focus on?
It's a really long story, but here's a quick one. They want people to believe that all that stalking, harassing, and doxing is their way of keeping people in line. The story between UP and Sugar goes back to 2 years. We've entered the unspoken sector a year ago. This is my assumption. I think the other side's sick Sugar against UP is 2 things. UP is getting really tired of the back-and-forth drama, and she tried to move on to new content, one of which is a cult leader named Nature Boy, who is currently behind bars. When UP is planning on moving on to do her new content, the other side isn't happy about it, because no one likes to look in the mirror and realize how full of it they are. The Joy situation is one example. And 2, the other side wants to keep the drama going. No UP, no drama. And folks are secretly getting tired of the whining about Eat with Q and Adrian Slays.
According to these files, Sugar is in her 60s. What's an elderly woman obsessed with another elderly woman? She should be at home watching Bonanza, not picking a fight with a complete stranger who she'll never meet.
Oh no, partner. Sugar knows where UP lives, and disturbingly, she knows the school where Firefly attended before he was moved to another school.
I'm still taking my 3 days off, and I'm probably gonna ride up to Detroit. Hang out with my folks. And then, do a little bit of vlogging so y'all can see, where Big Dookie lives at, where Mom lives at. You can see the neighborhood she lives in. So I can.
Why would anybody want to show where I live at unless they were stalking me? Why would anybody want to show where my mother lives at unless they were stalking my mother? Why would anybody want to show where my kids live at unless they were stalking my kids? Why would anybody go up to a little kid's school and take a picture of little kid's school unless they're stalking the little children? That's what I want to know. Why? Why would somebody drive 5 hours in a pissy diaper to come to Michigan to stalk somebody and then broadcast it? Why would they do that if they claim that they're the ones being stalked?
By the way, pay attention to this commentator. She plays a very important role in this story.
That's creepy even to my standards.
Oh, it gets creepier. The distance between Pittsburgh and Detroit is 4 hours. That alone is a very serious problem for UP. 2 years ago, Sugar was on UP's turf. Luckily, the ladies didn't meet. This would have been a problem, as according to UP, Sugar threatened to have her niece firebomb UP's house. Oh, you guys think we're exaggerating? Take a listen.
We're gonna do a little tour of the bitch's neighborhood. I ain't done fucking with you, Mia Dookie. So, yeah, I'm gonna ride up to Detroit for my birthday, which seems apropos, because I can go up there and get fucked up. So, I'm gonna go up there, I'm gonna grab one of my little nieces, and I ain't gonna grab her. Nope. That motherfucker gonna try to put a Molotov cocktail together for the window.
Now, you said I was lying on the information that I submitted to the police. But there it is. You just said that your niece was going to put a Molotov cocktail through one of my windows. How is that a lie, ma'am?
Oh, and according to a statement from UP, Sugar threatened to have her way with Mother UP and UP's daughters. That's some creepy shit.
By the divide, that is creepy. Why is she risking jail time for this?
The answer will confuse you. She doing this for the people UP exposed. But in her mind, UP has stalked and harassed Money Boy Trey, Truth Hurts, The Clown, Tosh Time, a content creator named Paula, and some guy named PJ. Wait a second. Who's PJ and Paula? Hold up.
Intelligence. Switch speaking. Oh, Commander Grouchy, what can I do for you? PJ and Paula, they're not in our files. Hang on a second. Aha. Well, according to this, PJ was the son of Truth Hurts, and Paula was a content creator. She was a bad guy. Was. As in these two. Well, let's just say they're not here to complain about our commentary, Trump's return to the White House, or today's economy.
In other words, Sugar is avenging people who bullied UP. With the exception of this PJ, UP did a commentary about him here and there. We'll have to look into that in the future. Unknown to UP, Sugar did a lot of commentary about UP for 2 years. UP didn't pay attention to her, until now. UP let it slide, but lately Sugar has gotten so bold that UP has had it, and decided to take action. We'll get to the next chapter in a few. We're going to get a bite to eat, because on the next page is a rough one.
Being the director's second in command is a big job. I always have to be on alert if the director goes on vacation, he gets sick, or he's off to his adventures. But in between these hours, especially at lunchtime, I take a stroll to Blue's Diner. Blue has some amazing dishes to try, like that no-bake cheesecake, so good you'll fight your spouse. And don't get me started on the sweet potatoes with honey-roasted peanuts, it was so good, I ended up having visions. They have a good time over there. Why not subscribe and check her out? Blue's Plate, a plate to remember.
So the beef between Unspoken Purpose and Sugar Delights started because Sugar wants to defend the content creators who harassed UP. In her delusional mind, Sugar is convinced that UP is a child molester and grooming her daughters. Sugar thinks UP is the R. Kelly of these YouTube streets and got her sources from the very people Sugar's defending. So Unspoken Purpose, a child molester. Some of the crazy people over there is fully convinced about that. Okay? I got this thing called logic. So as we followed UP, we learned that they have a habit of accusing UP of fondling Firefly, without proof. Let's say this is true. Want a school then, my man?
Let's just say Unspoken did what the other side claims she did. Where are the evidence? The mugshots? These guys even know Unspoken's real name. Why isn't she in the registry? And even if she wasn't in the registry, why her family isn't speaking out? Oh, there's this delusional video being surfaced, but even that's irrelevant. And spoiler alert, there's going to be a story about that. There's going to be a lot of debunking involved. No receipts, no mugshots, no interviews, no name on the registry. Just total bitterness, jealousy, and hatred because they don't know how to use the block button and because UP supporters have a brain. And not to mention some of them were former members of the other side, so they know the game they're playing. The chat in UP's live stream is always active and sometimes more entertaining than the live stream itself. And let's not forget that these accusations is going to get UP and her family hurt by those who ain't cool with child molesters living in their neighborhoods and wants to take the law into their own hands.
But something happened while UP makes her move. Sugar went on a very angry rant. She lost her job and threats of eviction. We can't show you the rant because the last time we did that, it got age restricted. A link will be in the comment section though. But we can tell you how many times Sugar called Unspoken a bitch. 87 times is the result. That's a lot of cussing along with threats. But you're wondering, if UP didn't call Sugar's job, who did? Meet Ronald Isley. And no, the content creator isn't a he. The content creator is a she. She was the one who reported Sugar. But why she did that? Because Ronald is a mandated reporter. And what's a mandated reporter? A mandated reporter is someone legally required to report suspected or known instances of child abuse or neglect. Typically professionals who frequently interact with children, such as teachers, healthcare workers, and childcare providers. In other words, if Ronald sees something, she has the legal right to write something, and whatever profession Ronald falls under, she reported it. Sugar's job was security at UMPC, or the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center. And whatever Sugar did in her live streams, she violated a HIPAA law. You know, telling the world about a patient's business. News of that resulted in Sugar being terminated from her job, and Sugar is pissed. She blames both UP and Ronald working together. But here's the problem. Ronald and UP never got in contact. UP didn't know Ronald was coming after Sugar. As I said, whatever Ronald saw, she reported it to the proper channels. And now Sugar is determined to stalk Ronald. She claims that she can find Ronald, but she's going to have a difficult time finding Ronald, for Ronald is nowhere to be found, other than her backup channel. And Ronald has this to say, along with her video.
Hi guys, thanks for watching my channel. This is a video about Sugar Delights. I've been watching her videos and I'm actually really worried about this woman. She has incited people to gang stalk me. She said she's gonna beat me up. She said she's gonna hurt me and another YouTuber, Unspoken Purpose, who she's stalked in person and has traveled across many states to go and allegedly harm. She's accusing me of causing her homelessness and causing her to lose her job. She didn't want to live with her own mother because she's a fat, lazy bitch and didn't want to help her out when she needed help. And she lost her job because she did something wrong. You wouldn't be able to get fired if you didn't do anything wrong. And If you feel like you were wrongfully terminated, then you should file a wrongful termination lawsuit. I don't have shit for you.
Get the fuck out of here. Come on, KT. I know you smarter than that. Like I said, I don't give a fuck. At the end of the day, the bitch is wrong. All day long. And it was her supporter. So now Ron Isley gotta get it. And there's a judge. And I'm gonna play it for you. Y'all don't believe it.
Stop mentioning me, and you're actually scaring me, threatening me with harm, and I know what you're capable of, and I know you're willing to travel to cause harm. I'm very scared, and if you keep this shit up, I'm gonna send those white folks to your fucking house to lock your bitch ass up. You got me fucked up. And as you can see, I did not call the number blocks. I don't know what you're talking about. You're filing motions and you're doing this. You're in courts. You're in court because you got caught shitting on the sidewalk. You're fucking disgusting. And you're too old to be doing that at your big ass age. And allegedly, you weren't even homeless at the time. So what the fuck was up with that?
So that's why Sugar is coming after Ronald. That lady needs help. And did Ronald just say she's defecating in public? That's really nasty. Never mind that, imagine the smell. 62-year-old poop at that.
Yuck. And it's not like Ronald wanted to harm Sugar. But again, Ronald is a mandated reporter. She had no choice but to report. Had she not, she would be in trouble if word got out that Ronald knew and didn't report it. That's a legal way of saying, don't hate the player, hate the game. Sugar vowed to file motions to come after both UP and Ronald Isley. This lady officially lost her gummy bears. 1. You broadcast a patient's information. That's why Ronald did what she did. 2. You spent 2 years harassing UP, accusing her of being a child molester and a groomer. Then you went too far as to threaten her life. UP begged you to leave her be. You didn't listen, you didn't care, and now you're mad that UP is pressing charges.
Just how incompetent are you? You who supports the profligates. All the doxing and harassing they did to UP, and you're complaining about UP taking action. If you left her alone, UP wouldn't be pressing charges. And because of your actions, UP hasn't been active like she used to. Because she had to do some serious running around to put you in your place, messing up the flow of things. If you haven't broadcast the patient's business, Ronald Isley wouldn't be reporting it. You would still have your job. But because of your blind hatred regarding unspoken purpose, those blessings you've received are being threatened. The supporters of Sugar isn't very bright. One threatened UP, and then they want to play victim. A lot of delusional thinking over there. At first, we really thought Sugar is acting, but we've just witnessed a lunatic who will stop at nothing to silence UP permanently.
But at the end of the day, UP is still standing despite the odds. They'll never learn. And luckily there's a storyteller around to tell the tale. And this concludes the story about the battle between UP, Ronald Isley, and Sugar Delights. And this also concludes the 7th season. This is Shadow signing off, and if you see something, write something. See you guys in Season 8.
Commander, the agents completed their mission regarding Sugar Delights.
Excellent. We're going to leave the unspoken sector for now. Since UP is in the middle of a legal battle, she's not going to be able to react to whatever she's witnessed until she's done. Intelligence will take our place.
Where are we going, sir?
Our next campaign is the J4K sector. The director wants us to investigate these repetitive attacks against Vaughn and Bams, especially Bams.
Isn't that your old project? I thought it was on the back burner during the fallout.
Times have changed, Lieutenant. A woman named Tawanda has been bothering Bams, and Vani has been bothering Bams as well. Intelligence has been monitoring Vani for quite some time after the Risa incident. We was going to leave her alone. But since the director supports both Bams and Vaughn, he doesn't like unannounced guests. He wants us to step in. Not only that, we are ordered to look into the late Miss Deb. Whatever she had planned, she wants the Shadow Sector to join in. Unfortunately, we're going to have to interpret on what Miss Deb had planned. It's the least we can do.
Understood, sir. And what about the commotion regarding St. Louis?
Intelligence is keeping an eye on the situation. Apparently there's a rift between him, One Love, and Sparkle. And from the looks of things, these two are not providing receipts that'll debunk St. Louis's claims. No point of us stepping in if St. Louis is kicking their asses over there. Remember, we don't want to make the very same mistake we did last year. We're going to wait until the evidence outweighs our observations, or if things are not resolved peacefully.
Also, Commander Intelligence recovered a live stream from Chubbs. Our old friend also attacked Bams, despite Chubbs trying to resolve the situation peacefully.
Anaya, the director has a personal score to settle. This is good news. I'll be sure to report our findings. Well, time to deal with the pit bulls, Lieutenant. Be ready for a debrief for the agents. Nice work, Agent. That was one crazy mission. All this because the other side hates UP, because she and her supporters have a mind of their own. If anything we've learned during COVID is that these people have the entitlement to force content creators to bend to their will. They forget that this is YouTube, and people have a right to broadcast whatever they want to broadcast. If they see something they don't like, they will say something. If they don't like that people are reacting to their bad deeds, then maybe they should stop harassing other content creators. But they're not going to listen to reason. That's why we exist. Anyway, return to base for a debrief and take a few days off. You're going to need it. Thank you for visiting Shadow Storyteller. If you like what you saw, hit the like, subscribe, and bell to stay updated. Until next time.
Ordinary days.